Welcome everyone to another episode. Today it's gonna be about maybe the one missing puzzle piece to ultimate comfort on the bike. And it's about feet. So in general, I feel pretty comfortable by now on my bike, except for my feet and sometimes my knees as well. So on my feet, I sometimes get numbness as well as pressure points on the outside as well. And I thought that that's just part of the game and that's just how it is. And I tried multiple cycling shoes by now already and I always had the same problem. So yeah, I kind of just went with it and thought that it's just part of the game. Also on longer rides, I'm sometimes getting pain on the outside of my knee, which I think might have to do that I walk like a duck with my feet pointing towards the outside, which is why I'm riding a speed play system where I have a lot of float, so my feet are not really locked in to be parallel. And as I also noticed that I'm walking slightly on the outer parts of my feet as well, I invested in some very cheap wedges that I put underneath the insole that was part of my shoe. That helped a little bit to offset the pain. So I guess it's just counterbalancing by filling this space that I'm not constantly pushing and moving my knees inwards. But yeah, I think that I might have found a pretty good setup to address all those issues. So first of all, let's start with the shoes. So far, I was wearing shoes from Physique. I was wearing the ones with the strap, I think for 2 or 3 years now. Now recently, I just noticed that they also have versions for wider feet. So I thought that that might address my pressure point problem. So I bought these ones with a nice boa dial as well and a nice wide front. But after riding them with a couple of rides, I already noticed that here, especially in this area, I'm still getting a pressure point already when I just take them on and walk for 5 meters. So yeah, that wasn't really the solution. So I kept on browsing the internet and the Specialized S-Works Torch shoes kept coming up. They are quite expensive, so it wasn't an impulse buy, and I kept reading, and I think I started reading about this like months ago already. But yeah, more and more articles kept popping up where people talked about that these are the perfect cycling shoe, that they just fit like a glove, and so on and so forth. So I pulled the trigger. I put them on the moment they arrived, and I have to say it is really, really impressive. They really fit like a glove, at least on the short tests that I've done at home so far by just trying them on, walking around a little bit and tightening the boa dials quite a bit. Just to see if I'm gonna get any pressure points. So it seems that this shoe, even though this isn't a special wide version of it, addressed that problem of that pressure point. So, I mean, let's see if it's gonna stay this way when I'm taking these out on a ride and testing them for a couple of longer trips. But so far so good. So yeah, that's one issue solved. There is still the numbness and the knee pain. And for this, I was doing a little bit of research in regards to road cycling insoles, and I found a company called G8 Performance. So I reached out to them if they could maybe offer me a little discount on their kind of insole setup and give me a little bit more details on how to install it and everything. And they've been actually so kind to send out a free set of their insoles together with their heel wedges and their met domes. So pretty much the full system to hopefully address all the problems that I'm having. So what we're going to be doing in this video is, together we're going to be fitting those insoles to the Specialized S-Works Torch shoes. Trying them on, seeing how it feels, maybe adjusting some of those G8 Performance modules a little bit, because it is a very modular system. We're going to get into that in a second. And so I would say enough talking, let's get started. So what we got to do first is, we got to fit the insoles to a size that also fits into the shoe. So let's do that. For that, we're pretty much taking out the insole that comes with the shoe. Okay. So for this, let's start with the left foot. So you're gonna take the left foot, take the left insole, and we're gonna pretty much see how long does this need to be. Maybe it's overlaid from this side, and Yeah, so basically the insoles that I ordered, they're covering a size 44 to size 46. I'm a size 44. Those shoes are size 44 and a half. And we also see some little markings. I don't know if you can see them on here. And it says 44 here, so I guess you would cut along that line. And if I match this up with the insole from the S-Works Torch, it pretty perfectly matches, as you see. I'm gonna push it against it with this line of 44. So we're gonna be cutting around the 44 line, and yeah, we're gonna do the same thing then on the right hand side. Yeah, and then we're gonna try to yeah, fit them into the shoes. So I'm not the most crafty person, but yeah, let's give this a try. Let's cut along the 44 line here. Beautiful, huh? Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing with the other one. Let's just quickly check if that is a good fit now. Yeah, looks pretty good. It's a bit wide here, so we might cut a little bit of additional material off here, but lengthwise it is pretty good. Great. Okay, now we're gonna do the other side. There we go. So now that we have the insoles cut to shape, let's have a look at the rear, which is where most of the magic is going to be happening, I guess. And we have those arch supports, which you can actually move forward and backwards. It's kind of a modular setup. And in the package, it comes with multiple inserts for those arch supports, which are giving you different heights. So let's have a look, for example, at the one that's mounted here. This is so-called level 1, which is not too high, and this is a level 5, which is the maximum that they provide in the box. And yeah, you're supposed to start with a level 1 and then slowly work your way up. Not that you have to reach level 5, so basically over time you're supposed to push it as far to a place where you would say that this feels most comfortable. So it could be that you stay at level 1, but it could also be that you go to level 2 and then to level 3, and with level 3 you say, this is now perfect for me, and you just stay that way. So as I already mentioned that I'm walking kind of like on the outsides of my feet, I'm gonna skip level 1 and yeah, I'm gonna directly jump into level 2. Or maybe level 3. So I guess I'm going to be playing around in between those areas. But now let's quickly see how you're setting this up. Okay, so here let's take the left foot. So we got the arch support here. In their instructions they already say that you should try to push this arch support as far forward as possible, so that it's obviously still comfortable for you. So I think this position would be the most forward one, as it kind of like ends with this line. So you're left with basically moving up 2 rows here if you count those dots. As you see on here it says L1, so it's the left insole and a level 1 height. And let's see, this is a level 2, this is a level 4, this is the level 3. So let's try to go with a level 3 and just see how it feels. I mean, we can always dial it further down. So I'm also gonna move it as far forward as they suggest, or like to start as far forward as possible. And then later we're gonna see how it actually feels. So that already seems quite legit, I gotta say. So let's do the same thing with the right hand side. So we also try to find our level 3. Move it quite far forward. Click it in. I mean, if you have regular feet and you're not walking on the outsides, I guess I would suggest that you follow their instructions with starting with level 1 or level 2. But yeah, as I feel my feet are kind of extreme there, yeah, why not? I'll just give it a try. I can always dial it back. So now the next module that we're gonna be applying to those insoles are gonna be the heel wedges. And here my theory is, as my feet are kind of positioned like this, every time I push the pedal down, of course my foot naturally moves this way, which also moves my knee around to a rather unnatural position. So I feel that I need to fill this gap with some material that I can't really push my foot down all the way, moving my knee inwards or whatever. So yeah, I'm gonna look for a heel wedge that kind of like fills this void over here. And yeah, I have a couple of options here with different angles and different heights. I'm gonna go for the middle one, for the medium one, as you see here. I don't know if you can see that. So you see that it's super thin on this side, and you have quite some material on this side. So I'm going to be basically placing this inwards so that my foot is sitting on it like this. So this would be my, these would be my feet. So let's assemble that. Okay, so with this being my right foot, let me take the medium wedges, and I basically want to have additional material here, no additional material here. So let me see, I don't need this one. This one's going to be for the left hand side. This one's then going to be for the right hand side, as it is thicker on this side than it is on this one. And you basically just apply it by pushing it into those points here on the heel. So we're going to do the same thing here. So basically on my left foot, I want some material on this side that's supporting my foot. So again, on here, more material here, less material here, and we just push it in. There we go. So this is going to be our starting point, I think, position-wise. And then the last puzzle piece are the so-called met domes, which are supposed to spread your metatarsal bones in your feet a little bit to avoid numbness. And yeah, as I'm struggling from some numbness as well, I'm also gonna put them into the setup. There are two different heights, so there is a level 1 and a level 2. So they basically just have different heights. The cool thing is that they basically just are going to be applied with Velcro, so it's not sticky tape or anything. And with this, once you put them in and you figure out that it's maybe not the perfect position, you can still take them off, move them around, and yeah, play a little bit around with the positioning until you find the perfect spot to fix that numbness. So I'm going to be placing them, I think, in the standard position, which is between the 1 and 2 bone, yeah, and then we're just going to give it a try. So let's quickly find out where they need to be positioned. So I'm just going to put my foot on here, and I want to spread these two somewhere here in this area. So yeah, let's try the level 2, and I'm gonna be placing it somewhere here. So let's give it a try. That's the right hand one. I'm just gonna orient myself a little bit along that arch support here. So I'm just gonna put it here, and you see it nicely stays in place. I'm gonna keep it symmetric with the other sides, so they need to be, this one needs to be placed here. Okay, and now I would say it's time to put them into the shoes, and let's see what the first impressions are going to be. All right, now time to get the feet in. Okay, so now I'm just gonna try them on, and then let's see what the first impressions are gonna be. Definitely feels different than the stock insoles that come with it. Even though I see the stock insole, I think also has a little met dome, kind of metatarsal bone relief spreader kind of thing. Tighten them up, and let's see, I'll do a quick walk around. Well, that's slippery. Okay. So I gotta say, first of all, arch support feels real good, even though it's level 3. Doesn't feel unnatural. Actually feels like it's nicely holding my foot where it's supposed to be. Also, the heel wedge in the back feels very natural. Let's see how it's going to be on the bike. Only this met dome thing, I feel that I placed it a little bit too far forward, so I'm quickly going to adjust it and move it a little bit back so that it feels more comfortable, and then yeah, I'll try it on again. Let's move this a little bit backward. There we go. now, just looking at the original one, now the position of the Met dome on here and where it is in the factory ones is pretty much in line position-wise. So maybe I should have just oriented myself a little bit on that before. Yeah, I can already say it's way better. Let's walk around a second. So now with those Met domes readjusted, I gotta say it feels really, really good. Very natural, at least when walking around. Not that you're walking around a lot with these kind of shoes. So as you see, they're brand new, so there are no cleats attached to them yet. So my next step is gonna be attaching my SpeedPlay system, moving it from here, from the Physique ones to the S-Works ones, and giving it a test ride. But yeah, so far I gotta say, the setup process for those insoles, pretty easy. Nice that it's so modular. Good to know that if, for example, the arch support is a little bit too little or a little bit too much, that I can easily readjust it within like a 1-minute process. So yeah, so far I'm pretty excited about that. So I would say next thing, I'll see you on the bike. Okay, so I'm back from a 1-hour ride, and I have to say it's like a day and night difference compared to the setup that I had before. First of all, those shoes, you almost feel like you're not wearing any, especially compared to the setup that I had before with constant pressure points in the front. Now there's absolutely no pressure at all, even though I'm tightening them up quite strongly. So yeah, I would say shoe-wise perfect. And then on the insole, yeah, it's really nice that this arch support is pushing in from the inside, as well as yeah, the heel wedge. I also especially feel it on the heel, that there is the support coming from the bottom, where basically normally I would rather push in and then bend my knee inwards to compensate for it. So the only thing that I kind of swapped out, as I took some of those modules from the insoles with me on the ride, so just in case that I can swap things out in case I feel pressure or some discomfort somewhere. So I swapped out the size 2 Met domes, so the higher ones, for the slightly lower ones, because I felt that I don't need all this spreading coming from the bottom, especially as my feet are not so compressed, or don't feel so compressed from the sides anymore. But yeah, other than that, no knee pain, no pressure points. Yeah, and just those shoes are ridiculously comfortable. So yeah, I know they're expensive, but I might say that it was worth that purchase. So that was it for this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, and yeah, otherwise I'll hope to see you in the next one. Bye.